Alright, what's up guys? I've got a cool video for you here today. This is going to be all about making videos for the Amazon influencer platform, or really any kind of influencer user-generated content style videos. So a couple of you have messaged me, I've seen some comments saying, Adam, share your videos, show us some examples. So that's exactly what I've got. You're going to see examples of how I make videos, everything from faceless videos to face to camera, comparison videos, demos, mobile vertical videos, and even what I say if I receive a product for free, okay? So all that's in this video. Be sure you stay until the end. You're gonna see exactly how I make them. You're gonna be able to get my commentary on what I think I did right, what I think I did wrong. So there's a lot to unpack here. And then at the end here, I'm gonna go over some frequently asked questions. There's a lot of misconceptions and confusion about video, so I'm gonna try and clarify some of that. So be sure you stay until the end of the video to hit that FAQ section. And the last thing I wanna say is that, I'm not an expert, okay? I've been doing this for about 6 months now with the Amazon Influencer Program, but I've been a content creator for a couple years, but everybody has a different style. There's a million different ways you could do this. There's a million different right and wrong ways. So ultimately, you have to figure out what style works best for you. In this video, I'm sharing what I do. These are videos that I publish on the Amazon Influencer platform. This is what has worked for me. I'm sharing my journey. Yours may be something different, but maybe this answers some questions for you. Maybe this clarifies a few things. Maybe this encourages you or gives you some ideas, all right? So without further ado, let's jump into it. Boom. Alright, what's up guys? This is going to be a quick video and demonstration of the Nishiki hand pump. So I happen to have a flat tire on my bicycle right here. But let me just show you a couple things about this pump, why I chose it. So first of all, this thing goes up to 160 PSI. It's got a really nice gauge, which you can see right here. But because it goes up to 160 PSI, you can do a lot more than just bike tires with this. You could do small utility tires, trailer tires, even some small vehicle tires, okay? It's manual work, you gotta pump it, but it's actually quite powerful. Next thing I like is that it has the hose attachment here, right? To keep the hose kind of out of the way whenever you're storing it. You can hook it on either side here, it clips right in. And the third thing that I like is that it actually comes with these little accessories. Whenever you need a needle pump for the basketball or for the football and you always lose it, or you need something to pump up that pool toy or even an air mattress, it comes with both of those tools in this little carrying case, so they always stay with the pump, which is really, really handy. So let's hook it up here to my bike tire, show you guys kind of how it works. I like to have around 60 PSI on my bike tire, so I'm just gonna... Okay, so right there, you can see the first kind of half of the video, I really tried to focus on showing the product. I had the product kind of in the front of the shot, right? I really want to show it off, make sure that whoever's watching it sees, hey, this is what I'm talking about, this Nishiki bike pump, right? And then I went over some of the uses, tried to relate to them a little bit, like if you ever lose the little needles, right? That's just called like building a little bit of rapport with the viewer, right? Because I know I lose those things all the time, it happens. So, by saying, hey, you lose these, it has this little case on here, it's attached. Just kind of showing the product, showing some of the accessories. Then I kind of transition now into the demo stage of this face-to-face video. I'm gonna hook it up. I've already got the nozzle off. I'm just gonna push this on like this and then pull it back. Once you open it like this and you pull it back, then I know that I'm locked in. All right, there you go. So you can see here, I'm at 60 PSI and the bike tire looks good to go. Nice and firm. Awesome little pump, really, really handy. Great all-around use. Thanks for watching, hope this video helps. Alright, so there you go. That's just a realistic look into how I make my videos. Now, the second half of the video there, you could see where I sped up the pumping part. That's the only edit that was done on this video. Only because it took like 10 or 15 pumps to get that tire inflated. And, the viewer doesn't necessarily need to see that. So I showed a few pumps in regular speed, and then I just sped it up like 3x just to kind of get through that part. That's the only editing that was done. I haven't even edited the sound. And you could tell that whenever I bent down to pump up the tire, the sound kind of got a little quiet because I stepped away from the microphone. This is where we're going to get into this, and we're going to get some strategy on like what works for you, what doesn't, what kind of videos you want to produce, your style. This is just how I do it. That's an example. I would have no problem throwing this up on Amazon for this product. All right, let's go to the next one. Hey guys, alright, this is going to be a quick video here on my Vinca digital caliper. So I've been using this for a couple years now. It's a great entry level caliper, great for just kind of all around use, depending on what kind of precise measurements you need to take. I got a couple things here, we'll just demo it, but you can see here it's got the nice big digital display. You can change the units from millimeters to inches or fractions. Just press that button there. It does take a battery. You can see here it's the small LR44 size battery. But the cool thing is that you can actually turn it on and off. So it'll actually save the battery life if you just remember to turn it off. So we'll do a couple test measurements here. It does have a 0 button, so you always want to make sure you have the caliper closed and then hit the 0. Sometimes that can get off track, so if you see a different number, just 0 it out here when it's closed. And use this thumb wheel here to move the caliper. You want to avoid sliding the plastic and instead use this stainless steel wheel here. That's going to give you a much more precise measurement. There you can see it's a little bit off, so I want to hit 0. Alright, so you could do inside, outside measurements and depth measurements. So let's say I wanted to take the outside diameter of this brass rod. I'll just slide it closed like that, make sure it's square, and you can see there it is 6.42 millimeters. Alright, I could also do something like the inside measurements of this bolt here. Same thing, close it, make sure that it's zeroed, and then open this up to get my inside measurement. Now if I wanted, I could use the locking bolt here on the top to lock in that exact dimension so that if I'm trying to replicate that, I have a gauge to go off of, okay? And last but not least is you can also do depth measurements, right? So say you needed to drill a hole and you wanted to make sure that that depth of the hole was the exact same, right? You can use the depth gauge here on the bottom. So same thing, you would just extend it out and then hit the bottom of your hole and then kind of close it, right, until you get to that exact measurement. So again, pretty basic, very easy to use. Great battery life on it, and yeah, that's the Vinca digital caliper. Thanks for watching. Okay guys, so there's an example of a faceless video, right? I used a small product, something that I could kind of hold in my hands and show in the video. A couple things now, after watching my own video, I kind of have a critique. I kind of fidgeted with the item a little bit too much now that I'm rewatching it.
Stop fidgeting! I can't help it!
I would still put this up, no problem, but just kind of rewatching it, I kind of moved it a lot and stuff. And that was a little bit, you know, if I were to reshoot it, I would say, man, don't move it around so much. Hold it still so the viewer can see it. But I covered the basics, right? I covered, you know, what are the main functions? It does an inside measurement, an outside measurement, and a depth measurement. I covered the battery. I covered the units that it can show. The only other thing that I probably missed that I could do on this is maybe show the total length that it can measure, right? So that caliper has a maximum depth or a maximum open capability of like how much it can actually measure. I didn't go over that, but you can see in this faceless video, I just have a light set up in a tripod on a fixed position, and I'm just using the tool and talking about it. I'm speaking into the microphone. Wasn't too long, wasn't too short. It's right around that 2-minute mark. So, you know, again, you could go really in depth, you could go really, really quick, but that's an example of how I would shoot a faceless video, especially for a small tool, product, you know, electronics, something that you can show in your hands. Alright, what's up guys? This is going to be a video and demo here of my Milwaukee 1/4 sheet palm sander. So I've been using this for a couple years now. It's great for just general all-around sanding use. It can remove, you know, fiberglass if you're doing fiberglass work, obviously sanding wood. Let me show you a couple of the features on it. First of all, it's a 1/4 sander because it takes a 1/4 sheet. You can buy these pre-cut in almost any grit. This is just a random piece of 80 grit that I had and I cut on here. Cut to fit. It's really easy to attach them. There's basically just a clipboard clip here, and then there's just this little tension knob here. And all you do is just push that open, and then that allows you to add and remove your paper. Alright, so as a piece gets worn out, it's really easy to replace. It's got a simple on-off button on it right here. Just on, off. And it does have the dust collector with a filter in here, so this helps reduce some of the dust. And I think you can even get a hose attachment to this, where you could have it go into like a larger storage bin or something like that. Cord length. This is a corded, not a cordless model. So the standard cord that comes with it is only about 7 feet long. You can see here, I've got it tied into an extension cord. So most likely, unless you're working really close to an outlet, you're gonna need an extension cord. All right, I'm gonna pause it there, guys, because one thing that's annoying me, this is about my own video, but it's important to kind of realize, you can see the framing is just a little out. I've got it a little too low. And you can see the top of my head is cut off here on some of the parts whenever I'm kind of leaning up. Again, I wouldn't reshoot this necessarily. I think for this kind of video and the example I'm trying to show you guys, this would be adequate. But that's something to keep in mind. You generally don't want to cut yourself off in the frame, cut your head off. I'm trying to really focus on the product, which I think is the most important part of the video. But that's one thing that I noticed right away. So let's keep going. I want to show you guys just kind of how it works. So I've got a couple pieces of wood here. This is just a little random piece of trim board, but you can see here on the end where that cut is really rough, right? And I've got a lot of fraying and splintering, really, really sharp corners on this. I'm gonna see how this does, just kind of smoothing it out. And then I got another board here that's just got some old dried paint on it, right? This is some old paint from a canoe project I did. And wanna see how the sander does at removing it. I'm just gonna use the piece that's on here. It's just an old worn out piece of 80 grit. But let's see how it does. It might be a little noisy. But yeah, let's give it a go. Okay, just in that, what, 10 seconds or less, you can see here, I really took down those burrs, added that nice soft edge. This thing is great for that kind of trim work, that kind of finish work, you know, sanding out to a smoother texture, whether you're painting or doing some other kind of project. Let's see how it does on the paint. Okay, so that part right there, that's another one I could have sped up, the actual sanding process, and same thing here when I demo with the paint. Sometimes those redundant areas, if you're demoing a product, like say if I was testing a vacuum, I don't need to show vacuuming an entire room, but you could put it on like a time lapse or a speed, you know, 2x or 4x, and the viewer's still gonna get the idea, and then you just go back to normal speed whenever you have something else to say. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That was, what, 15 seconds or so? I should have put that on a time lapse. That's something that I try and do and that you could do. It doesn't hurt, but I think you want to keep that engagement time, keep the viewer on the video as long as possible. And sometimes those redundant things just kind of speed through them and they get right back to the content, the meat of what you're trying to say. Okay, so here you can see this is the area that I was sanding. It obviously can remove paint. This is just 80 grit. There's much better grit that you can use in a process. I just want to kind of show you guys the functionality of the sander. So, fits in the hand really well. It's literally a palm sander for that reason. I just have normal size hands. Fits right on here. Keep your index finger right here on the switch. And yeah, I mean, it's a great little handy tool. I find myself using it just to kind of sand things that are a little rough, trim up the edges a little. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope this video helps. All right, so you can see there, I mean, in this video, I'm kind of stuttering a little bit. You know, I lose my words. I don't have a script. I don't use scripts. I'm not doing anything like that. This is just off the cuff. All of my videos are. I find that you get better with time. Not everybody, you know, necessarily that may not be the best approach. But it just goes to show you that, you know, these videos aren't perfect. I mean, this is really me in my yard using my sander. I'm talking about the things I like, the things I don't like. I'm demoing exactly, you know, some of the functions that I have experience with, and it's authentic. You can hear the bugs in the background. You see I'm in my front yard. You know, I'm trying to pull the cord and show you how long it is. I think that kind of video really speaks to viewers. It's not commercialized. It's not a sales video. I'm not in some big fancy studio in a perfect set. I'm just a regular everyday guy just showing this product. That's the message. That's kind of what I aim for in my videos. Not saying you should do that. Pick whatever flavor you want. I'm just sharing what's been working for me. Alright, what's up guys? In this video, I'm going to compare two different spray paints, two different brands of spray paints, two different nozzle types to see how they compare. This is going to be... Okay, now real quick, you can see right at the beginning of that video, I'm like shaking the cans. I did that on purpose. You know, I wanted to show right off the bat, hey, I'm doing spray paint. This is a spray paint video. If you've used spray paint and you shake those cans, you know exactly what sound that is. So that's just a little kind of quick way to jump into the video. And I tell them right away, I'm going to do a comparison. I'm holding up the two different kinds. Kind of a comparison video between the Krylon Color Master True Blue in gloss. This is a paint and primer in one, okay? Versus the Rust-Oleum Fluorescent Pink spray paint, all right? So I'm going to shake them up here, and we're going to spray them on this cardboard at the same distance to see how they look, see how they spray. How does it look on cardboard? How does it dry? So let's give it a shot. First, we're going to start with this one, the Krylon. Here's the tip. Now we're going to try the fluorescent pink. Here's the tip. Okay, so right away, you can tell just the difference in the type of nozzle spray. So spray cans have different nozzle types and different patterns that they emit. This is a much more narrow, concentrated pattern here off the Krylon Color Blue, okay? It's got a lot deeper color to it, all right? You can even see it's starting to run a little bit because it was just so thick. This Rust-Oleum Fluorescent, right? Look at how wide that spray pattern is. It's got like a rectangular spray pattern, all right? Much, much bigger, but I can still see the cardboard through the paint. That means that something like this is going to take more, right? More coats. And that's why this one doesn't have a primer in it, right? So technically, if you're using this, you should be using a primer first and then this. Now, you're going to be able to cover a lot wider area due to this type of spray nozzle. But for an all-in-one, something that's a primer and paint together, something that's going to have a little bit more narrow spray nozzle, and it's going to have a more concentrated color, look at something like the Krylon Color Master. All right, so again, not a perfect video, right? The framing isn't exactly great. The lighting is okay. There's a little bit of shadows and stuff, but I would have no problem whatsoever shooting that video and hitting publish. I would not reshoot it. I think it's perfectly fine for what I'm going for my content quality level. So the main thing here is with this comparison video, I'm showing two different products and I'm trying to demo them in the same way. Is it exact? No. But I think clearly you can kind of see the difference in the spray paints. One I talked about is more narrow and it's more concentrated. It's a deeper color. And the other one is more of a broader mist, a broader pattern. It doesn't have the primer built in. So again, this is just an example video to show you guys. But I think when you're doing a comparison like that, actually using the products, you know, side by side, giving the viewer something to look at here. I even did the same exact spray pattern. I think that really goes a long way for a comparison video. At least that's what I would want to see. And that's what I try and think about when I'm filming these videos. All right, pranksters, check this out. This is an exploding golf ball, the perfect gag gift to play on the course. This thing looks like a real golf ball. It balances like a real golf ball. It even sits on the tee like a real golf ball. But look at this. It absolutely turns into a white cloud of dust upon impact. A hilarious gift for all your golfing buddies. Okay, so that is a mobile style video, a vertical video that's optimized specifically for the Inspire app. Amazon has told us those videos need to be 30 seconds or less. So this one is right around 20 seconds. You can see right away from the video it's a much faster pace than a typical horizontal video. You can also see that there's multiple cuts, okay? It's got jump cuts, right? There's maybe 8 or 10 different scenes there. It's got a faster pace and it's got a voiceover. So I recorded these clips, merged them together and cut them, and then added a voiceover at the end, kind of like a narration. Is it great? Not really. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. In fact, it's fuzzy, and if you're watching this, you may see, man, that's out of focus and it's fuzzy. It is, and I would have reshot it, but I only had one exploding golf ball, so I couldn't reshoot it again. So I think for the purposes of this video, I just want to show you how those mobile style videos that you're trying to optimize for the Inspire app, okay? They need to be 30 seconds or less, ideally like 10 or 15 seconds. They need to be fast-paced. They need to be, action, funny, sound effects, whatever, to kind of really keep that viewer engaged, just like on TikTok or just like on YouTube Shorts. So I don't do a lot of these. That's my example. I used CapCut. I'll put links below of any of the stuff I used, but I just used the free version of CapCut, filmed it on my phone, and kind of threw that together. But if I was to optimize specifically for the Inspire app, this is the kind of style video I would do. All right, what's up guys? This is gonna be a video and demo here of this Milwaukee 1/4 sheet palm sander. Now, Milwaukee sent me this for the purposes of this video, but don't worry, it's not gonna affect my opinions. I'm gonna test it, kind of put it through the ringer, and share it with you guys so that you can be more informed. Okay, so there you have it. That's just a simple way to kind of disclaim in the video that you receive that product for free, or that you receive that product on behalf of the company to make a video. There's a million different ways you could say it. That's just how I decided to say it on this video. You could easily edit this into the beginning of the video, or just include that in your shoot. But that's just one simple, easy way. Again, there's a bunch of different ways. I'm not claiming mine to be the best. I'm just trying to give you guys an example of what I typically say in my videos. Here's another one. Hey guys, alright, this is going to be a quick video here on the Nishiki hand pump. Now, Nishiki sent me this so that I could make a video on it, test it, and tell you guys about it. But don't worry, it's not going to affect my opinions. Let's get into the video. That's it, right? Short and sweet. Hey, Nishiki sent me this. It's not going to affect my opinions. Let's get into the video, right? I've let them know I received the product from the company. I've done my due diligence, my disclaimer to show that I've received that for either free or monetary gain, whatever. And that, hey, let's get into the video, right? That's what you're here to see. Make it short, make it sweet, say it at the beginning of the video, and then dive right into the valuable content that the viewer is there to see. Okay, so the first question. How long should my videos be? I think your videos should be however long necessary to provide value and go over the product. Share what it is you're trying to get across to the viewer or the buyer. For me, the sweet spot seems to be around 2 minutes, give or take. Some of them are longer, some of them are shorter. Typically, the more complex the product, the longer the video. But I think if you're making 8, 9, 10-minute videos, unless these are really complex, in-depth videos, the majority of stuff can be covered around that 2-minute mark. How much of the video does someone have to watch in order to be eligible for commission? So Amazon used to say they had to watch 30 seconds of the video, but that's no longer the case. They took that language away out of the terms. So now no one really knows. I think what you should just instead focus on is providing as much value at the beginning of your video as possible to keep that viewer on site, right? To keep them on the page, and so that they convert and buy. So we really don't know how long, but just make good videos. Why do my videos keep getting rejected? Okay, so there's a lot of reasons why your videos may get rejected. I'll put a link here to another video that I have about 10 reasons why your videos may be getting rejected, but it could be anything from copyright to personal information to just poor video or audio quality. Should I film my videos in HD or in 4K? So I think this is kind of a personal preference and maybe depends on your filming equipment. I personally shoot everything in 4K. I do that for 2 reasons. One, Amazon typically compresses the video, so it's always going to be a lesser quality once it's on the product page. But 2, if I want to repurpose my video for YouTube or for any other social media platform, I want to have the best video content or quality as possible. So I recommend you film at the highest quality level that your equipment will allow. What's better, horizontal or vertical videos? This is a big one that gets a lot of discussion. For me personally, the majority of my commissions and the majority of my videos are horizontal. Yes, I do have vertical videos also, some that are below 30 seconds optimized for the app, and some that are over 30 seconds. I think the majority of people watching on-site videos are on desktop. That's where they're clicking on that play button icon. They're there to buy. I think a lot of times when people are on their phone, they may not necessarily be in a buying mode, they may be in more of a research mode. However, I will say, if you're good at making vertical videos, especially 30-second or less, TikTok, jump cut, high action, very, very interactive videos, then you may be on to something. So, best case, do both. Alright guys, I hope the stuff we covered in this video helps you out on your influencer journey. You can see from some of the examples that I showed, they're not perfect, right? I stutter, I make mistakes, sometimes the framing's wrong, the lighting's wrong, whatever. But what I'm trying to get across to you is that you don't have to be perfect, okay? You can find success with this program by just continuing to grind. You'll improve with each video, with each upload. You're gonna learn. You're gonna get better as time goes on. So don't get too hung up on the small details, and instead look at the big picture and keep moving forward. If you want to learn more about the Amazon Influencer Program and other ways that I make money online, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. In the meantime, check out these videos and drop a comment below if you have any questions about this video, about the Amazon Influencer Program, or anything else I can help with. All right? Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.